everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to do the analysis slash commentary for episode 27 of Miraculous Ladybug season 5 action. And as always, I'm about to spoil the whole episode for you, so if you haven't seen it yet, please go ahead and watch it. I know a lot of you won't be able to see it until Wednesday when it airs on Disney+, so please hold off watching this video until then. And apologies in advance if it looks like all the makeup is melting off of my face. We are at the tail end of a heat wave. It is about to break today. I can see the rain clouds already coming in. The sky is grey. However, I was like, I have to wear a pink blazer. I have to dress up as the king of plastic because he's wearing a pink blazer. I own a pink blazer. Of course I had to wear a pink blazer. But I apparently forgot how warm blazers are when I had to wear them every day in high school because I am dying on the inside and on the outside. I am very, very warm. I have shorts on. You can't see them, but I have shorts on. And I'm still dying. So, if it looks like my face is kind of shiny, it's just because of the heat. There's nothing else wrong. It's just hot. And I'm British. And British people do not deal well with heat. So, this episode. I'm not sure what the general consensus is. I saw some stuff on my Discord server yesterday, and people are just a bit like, meh, towards it. I actually kind of liked it. I'm gonna give it, maybe this is too high, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I went into this episode knowing it was gonna be a very on-the-nose educational episode because it had a specific purpose and it wasn't to advance the plot. There's no plot missing. It was just to talk about plastic pollution. It was meant to be very on the nose because, if you're not aware, it's meant to be used in schools as an educational resource. The foundation, they are doing it in partnership with. They have like educational packs to download and stuff like that for schools. So it was meant to be very on the nose. This is our message. This is what we can do to help this issue. So I kind of went in expecting that. So I kind of went in, maybe I'm wrong for doing this, but I didn't think it was fair. I haven't judged it as seriously as I have done, for example, the season 5 finale, because the season 5 finale was meant to be very plot heavy, advance a lot of stuff, tie up some loose ends, leave some other things open-ended, of course. But like, it was meant to be serious. This wasn't. It was meant to be kind of goofy and educational. Like, it had a purpose to serve, and I feel like it served the purpose really well, in my opinion. So for that reason, it's an 8 out of 10. Is it the best Miraculous episode ever? No. However, I did really enjoy it because it was more goofy, and I do think sometimes the writers of the show do a lot better job with goofy than with serious. It reminded me more of like season 1 episode, except this time Adrian and Marinette had a relationship, which I would have loved back in season 1. So I really enjoyed it. I know it definitely won't be for everyone, but I went in knowing it wasn't gonna advance the plot of the season. The season is over, and I think there was a lot of confusion because Gabriel's still alive. This episode takes place at episode 22, hence why Chloe's still in the country, Adrian hasn't left, Monarch Daddy is still there. That's why it's set at episode 22. It's not set after episode 26 because it's 27. I know, a little confusing, but anyway. So I knew there wasn't going to be any plot progression of season 5 stuff because it already finished, nothing was missing, and it was meant to be on the nose, educational about plastic pollution. And that's fine. That's fine. So that was my mindset going in, so as a result I liked it. But if you are looking for something a bit more serious, I don't think this would have been for you, but I liked it. So let's get into it. The first bit, oh my god, the Mandarin. There's a scene later on where they're actually speaking it, but when Marinette's like, oh, he was giving me my first Mandarin lesson, I'm like, finally! So if you didn't know, at the end of the Shanghai special, Adrian's like, I'll teach Mandarin, no problem. And he never does. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why not? That would be such a cool plot point. So I got annoyed, and because I can speak some Mandarin, not loads, like a very beginner Mandarin, like I did it for about 3 months in university. It was like an extra class I could take. So I can speak it like a little bit, like, hello, my name is this, I have a mum, I have 3 brothers, I am a student, I am English, I like this food, what do you like to eat? That kind of very basic stuff. So because of that, I wrote a whole audio fic which I'll link down below for you because it's very good. I wrote a whole audio fic where Adrian teaches Marinette Mandarin and they fall in love with each other, and it's really cute. So I'm so glad they finally got to do it. I was like, yes, yes. And in general, I love the whole idea with the boat and the plastic and what it's collecting with all the fans and stuff. Like I said, all the plastic stuff in this episode was very much on the nose, but it's being used as a specific educational tool. But you know, it kind of has to be because that's the purpose of the episode. So yeah, I don't mind it being so on the nose because that's the point of the episode, you know what I mean? So Mylène at the bakery being the drama queen, they definitely use too much plastic. I was under the impression most bakeries use like paper bags. That's what bakeries here use. When I was in Paris, every time I went to the bakery, they'd give me like a croissant or whatever in a paper bag. And actually when I went to the bakery from the show, the one that they use like the outside for, I got like a little cake and they put it in a cardboard box for me. Like, so I don't know why Tom is so set on using plastic bags for his pastries, but okay. And then they arrive at Montparnasse Tower and Nino, I love Nino's disguise from Rocketeer, iconic. And then Adrian and everyone else in there in rubber gloves and Marinette's like, oh yeah, we've totally come here for a very important meeting to do with the fans. And Adrian is wearing rubber gloves for them. What an amazing icon. And the presentation that Alia and the rest of the kids gave was really, really good. Again, it was very obvious the message they were trying to get across, but it's to explain the issue to kids as specifically and as concisely and as clearly as possible. That was the purpose of it, and I think they did a really good job. And they also did a really good job of explaining why the King of Plastic bloke isn't gonna do that at the same time, so kids can kind of learn about evil corporations, which I'm all for. I can't wait. This was great. I loved it. A lot of things I liked about it. Kim was an icon in this scene. So was Markov. I thought Markov was about to beat that man up. Oh my god. It was great. But then Marinette just ends up with the mayor and then with Nadia. I know she does know them, like they're all like parents of people she knows, but I'm like, how would you just know these people? How did you get to talk to them? I also like the way in the Nadia scene, how her reasoning not for doing it was expressed. A lot of the time, people in these who work in big corporations have views around, for example, the environment. It was kind of giving me the same sort of vibes of like gun control laws in America. From what I hear online, it seems like the vast majority of Americans want better gun control, but it physically can't be passed through, I was about to say Parliament. Is it Congress? Or is it the House of Representatives? I don't know the difference, I'm not American, I'm so sorry. But it can't be passed through because a lot of these gun companies are sponsoring the Congress people? Congressmen and women? I don't know the correct words, I'm so sorry. The people who work there, who have the power to change things with their vote, but often can't because these gun companies are helping to pay for their campaigns and other things like that. So it's kind of like that. So whilst I feel like Nadia definitely, I think she wasn't lying, I definitely think she does want change, especially the world for Manon, which I think again was a really good message for any kids watching this to hear. She can't because like she wouldn't have a job, and that also would be bad for Manon, so she's got to pick which one. And then the flow from this moment on, it was executed so well. So we have Marinette talking to Nadia, then she sees Nadia on the news, so she's like, oh, okay, this is what we need to do. Then they start filming, and then the film kind of turns to Nadia talking about that happening yesterday. The flow of it and the way it segued in and out was so cool. I think it was done really, really well. And then of course, Aeon, oh my gosh, she was the best. She literally only said like, what, 2 things? Flawless delivery. Amazing. But then, oh my god, Gabriel Babes and Andre lying, again teaching kids about evil corporations, which I am all for, and that they will lie to save their own skin. I was here for it. And then we get back to the Adrianette with the Mandarin. Beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely loved it. And then he holds her hands, and then later when he runs off to go transform, it's like Cat Noir's gonna save the city so Adrian can get back to Marinette. The Adrianette, there wasn't much in this episode, but I loved all of it. It was beautiful. And overall, just in general, I really loved the Akuma, the outfit. I know I obviously didn't include it in my Akuma outfit rankings, but it probably would have been in the second to top tier or the top tier. I think it was really cool with like the pen and like the sleeves and stuff. It was a really cool idea. He was also really strong, like that bit with the car where he throws Cat Noir and the car goes back with the force of how hard he threw him. Like, okay, alright. And then I loved like his jousting lance where one end was the bee paralyzer and the other end turned you into plastic. I thought it was great, and all the fighting scenes were great. I really like it when Cat Noir gets to use his baton like a sword, like in is it Darkblade? Like that season 1 episode. I really like it when he gets to do stuff like that. That was great. And his catchphrase, plastic is fantastic, the whole time was just reminding me of Barbie. So that was wonderful too. And then the kids dancing, so he goes to the boat and the kids are having a little party. Their dancing was so cringy. Please, somebody teach them how to dance properly. And for once I actually really love the lucky charm that it can't be turned into plastic, because it already is plastic, but I do wish it had been used a little bit more. But otherwise I really liked how the whole thing was solved, with the engine being destroyed and Cat Noir just not even questioning Ladybug. She's like, I think you're needed downstairs, and he's like, I'm on it, let me just destroy whatever you think I should destroy. She didn't even tell him, he just knew. They're like this at this point, they're great. So then they drown this man in plastic, and I just love, like, Ladybug can't even see this man, I'm pretty sure, in this whole sea of plastic. But she can see his lance, so she's just like, you know what, I'll just snap this and hopefully he'll come back once we do that. Like, you could have killed him, and she's like, nah, let me just cleanse this first, gotta cleanse it all. And then I also liked how obviously the episode ended with different solutions of, like, in the bakery there was like wooden stick stirrers, the cloth bags, stuff like that, to show some solutions to kids to help them and maybe like show their parents and stuff like that. What can we do to reduce single-use plastic consumption? So like I said, it was very much on the nose, educational, but that was the purpose of the episode. It was meant to educate, and I think that's fine. Like, I went into the episode knowing that. I think perhaps if you didn't know that, you may not have enjoyed it as much. You know, I kind of like, same with like Simple Man. I went into Simple Man thinking it was going to be a fun filler, and in my opinion, Simple Man is a fun filler episode. It's not the best episode ever, but it's like a fun filler episode. It wasn't meant to advance the plot, it's just like a fun episode. So I was like, that's cool, that's fine. Same kind of with this one, but also with the educational aspect to it, which I was expecting, and I think they did it well. It had a purpose to serve, and I think it served the purpose pretty darn well in my opinion. So yeah, overall 8 out of 10. Not the best episode ever, but like I said, it had the purpose and it served the purpose well. MVP, I guess maybe Marinette? I don't know, all the kids were great in this, all of them. Let's give it to all of them. So anyway, besties, I loved what you think of the episode. This was such a short video. Like I said, I didn't have much to say. I think it was a pretty good episode overall. I don't really think there was anything wrong with it. I guess if you don't like educational episodes, you wouldn't have liked it. But like I said, it was meant to be like that. So I don't mind it not being serious, as in like serious in terms of progressing the plots. It's fine to be a bit goofy sometimes, be a bit fillerish, and to be educational for the kids watching, which if you didn't know is what kids TV is supposed to do. It's meant to be very educational and teach you things. When you have like television for super duper young kids like 3 and under, it's very obvious, like these are the colours, these are the shapes, this is the alphabet. And as they get a bit older, the educational message is usually a bit more hidden. So the educational message around Miraculous is usually about like friendship and being a good person, stuff like that. But obviously this one was more so about the environment and the world our children are gonna grow up in. So yeah, I quite liked it. Definitely not my favourite episode. But you know, in terms of my ranking, I'm not sure I'd put it. I'd have to go back and revisit the list. I'll probably put a pinned comment under the ranking video so if you want to go and check that out later. But yeah, overall I really liked it, and I'd love to know what you all think, besties. Did you like the educational message behind it? Or do you hate it? I'd love to know what you all think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!